IVM.
Hey, Namaskar, this is Ashish Vidyarthi. Good to see you here, dear friends, on Begin the Journey. I want to share an anecdote with you. An anecdote which came back to me today, and it was an interesting learning for me. So, a few years back, I was shooting in Manali. It's in Himachal. And there was a resort. I believe it still is there. It was called the Span Resort. It was right by the river Bias. So I was shooting there with people, and there was some landslide or something, and shooting had stopped. So we had quite a bit of time with ourselves, all right? And with ourselves, meaning I was very much on my own, and, what do I do in between shooting? Just sitting in the room. And but actually getting bored because waiting for shooting to happen, not happening. And then suddenly we were on the first floor, and I heard a commotion, some people chattering. I just looked over the balcony and I found a face which I had seen before. I saw my friend Nikki Kantawala. He was from Bharati Vidya Bhavan, my school, and I found him there. And then Devyani was there, his wife, and his friends were there. And we've been staying at that same resort for the last 3 days before that, but we had not connected. And we connected after years. After school, we connected. And we had an amazing time. Since then, we have been connected through life. A thing like this has happened to all of us, right? We felt that we are alone, and suddenly, Arey, you are here too. Arey, I'm so happy. Arey, great. Let's kind of connect and let's have a great time. And let's add something amazing to this time. And this has happened to all of us. And through my life, through your life, if you notice that there have been such surprise connections made, and life has looked so different when we connect. And consider, dear friend, there is something in it for life also. Most of us, all of us, so many times in our life, we feel so alone. We feel, arey yaar, kuch nahi ho raha. We are kind of alone. And we don't even say that because we are so much in acceptance of the fact that, arey yaar, we are all alone. And in such times, I've noticed that there are many people around me also who are feeling alone. They're feeling unconnected, disconnected. For me, what I have discovered in this period is that possible connect is the bridge, that beautiful bridge called communication. If we can just allow the possibility of communication to happen, then two tall islands, which are there around, two amazing islands can become part of a continent if we can just bridge that with communication. Now, let's look at this conversation slightly differently too. On a day-to-day basis, there are so many things that we wish to do. I just wish to do it, but I don't know how to do it. Now, there is a great divide between me learning how to do something and then doing it, and where I am right now. So consider, even at this point, even if there are things that you wish to do and you don't know how to do, there are people around you who know how to do it. And they don't know what you can do best. And through my life, through this journey of life, as I've connected with diverse people, not just my classmates whom I had known from before, but as I've reached out and created bridges with diverse people, with diverse specialities, with diverse strengths, I have seen my life getting augmented, expanding. I have seen that I have in some way or the other contributed to their life being augmented, growing. Communication is a very, very powerful thing. It kind of can exist in a very, very small instance. This morning, somebody who knows how to cook was hired by somebody to cook, and then that person overcooked, because for a simple reason that somebody at that place did not check with another person. Hey, listen, what are the things that we need so that we do not go overboard? Now, consider, my friends, the simple things of communication which is happening even at home. Between me and my wife, if I do not communicate with Piru, then I have at that moment stopped having that person in my life, stopped having that person's value in my life because I have not communicated. That's something which she could have added to my life. I have stopped that from reaching me. That's something that I could possibly communicate and add to her life. We have stopped. Not just limited to home. Imagine in relationships at work, the person working right next to you, probably in this world, we are connected, over the internet, but that person is available if we can just reach out. Now, reaching out is that most powerful bridge which is available through communication. Reaching out for no reason too. In fact, what I call over communication. Just letting people know when, you're dropping by somewhere and say, hey, listen, I'm just dropping by and just checking, are you there? Taking a rain check. Who knows that rain check that you are taking, that, it's out of the blue, but do you have 5 minutes? Through my life, I have discovered that I just take rain checks with people. I just send them a message or just a call and just say, hey, listen, do you have 2 minutes? That person may have those 2 minutes and something interesting can happen in those 2 minutes. Otherwise, we say, you know what, I was thinking, wanting to get in touch, but then I thought that you will be busy. Communication breaks that thing called I thought. It turns it into action. It turns individuals into collaborations. For me, in this period, which is an interesting, challenging period, it has become interesting because I have managed to reach out, communicate to empowering people around me. People who have been phenomenal in their contribution towards me just because I have reached out. I really want you to get that this world is filled with extraordinary people. It is filled with extraordinary resources. The question that I have for you and the question that I have for me is that, am I building the bridges to reach out to them? Am I building the bridges for them to reach me? Just a thought, my dear friend. I would love to hear from you how, through your communication, you can create extraordinary bridges so that your value can reach them and their value can reach you. And together, imagine the value we can add to the world. Look forward to hearing your thoughts. Al Shukran Bandhu, Al Shukran Zindagi. Let's communicate like I am doing right now. Cheers.
I hope you enjoyed that show. It's been a really fun week this week, as it is almost every week, but this week was particularly fun. Parmesha Honey was on Cyrus Says, great conversation over there. We had a crossover event. Vineet Kanabar, host of the Storytellers and Storytellers podcast, came on Uncle Please Sit. Really interesting conversation about the future of digital content. Besides that, it was the 50th episode this week of Agla Station Adulthood. Congratulations to Ritasha and Ayushi. But yeah, they're 50 episodes down. They had Rekha Jha as the guest on that show. On Advertising is Dead, Varun had the founders of Foxy Moron, Suvir Bajaj and Pratik Gupta on. Another really, really interesting conversation. So full of interesting conversations this week, and I hope to see you again next week.
How many times have you motivated yourself to improve your sleep, or lose weight, or be more productive? How many times have you failed? Hi, my name is Ashton Doctor. Tune into my show, The Habit Coach Podcast, where we focus on creating small, tiny habits to improve your life instead of those big, impossible tasks. So make listening to me a habit every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com or on your favorite podcasting app.